Hey, what's up everybody? Finally got a video for you guys. Anyways, I am going to be doing a pickups video soon enough. I found a few more things to add to the pile. So, it's just been too friggin' hot, man. Now we're getting our monsoons hitting here in Kingman, and all it does is just make it hot and humid. So, miserable either way. Today, all I can say is it's tolerable in here. Because I don't have AC, man. I just have the ceiling fan. So, did manage to get out today and hit up Walmart, and lucky enough I found this Pac Man game, and right off the bat the weird thing on this, they had this, and then they had I think a handful of the original Space Invaders one that they did that was black and white and looks different, and then they had Q*bert and Centipede, which right off the bat right now those are the two to get still. And I'll show you the difference for anybody that hasn't seen these. This one's basically a remake of their previous Pac Man to where they've changed it up and given you a color screen instead of black and white, which is a good thing. That's why I picked it up, man. It's color. But there is something bad about that too, on how they did it. Could have been a lot better. Anyways, show you the box here first. I already got the game out of it, but nice looking box. And speaking of Q*bert and Centipede, there's the side view of it, and then there's what it looks like there. They've made it look like those two. Nicer. Looks more like a real miniature arcade cabinet instead of just flattened out. So that I like. In fact, I'm going to read on the back of the box here what they say. It's got two play modes. Eat the dots, which is just regular old Pac Man, where you go around and eat up all the dots, and then you got your power pellets so you can go after the ghosts. And then it's got chase mode, which I only tried it once, and then I read the instructions on what you're supposed to do, but that only has the 4 power-up pellets. But instead of attacking the ghosts, you have to take that pellet and go to the center of the screen in that little box. And it's got a little door that open up on it, so you got to get it timed right and get Pac Man in there, and that'll drop off that power pellet. And then you got to escape without getting killed and get the other 3. And then I guess you pass the level and get your points. So, cool. And your arcade-style joystick. Authentic arcade sounds. The sound effects are pretty damn good. Color LCD background. That's where they were calling Q*bert and Centipede LCD, but there's a big difference there on how it looks compared to this. So, before I show you the loose game here, I'm going to show you Q*bert and all of its awesomeness. Let's see. Okay, they did change that up. Right off the bat, there's something that changed. This one's only got one button for playing the game. Other than that, it's got your on-off switch and then your button for changing the sound, or it's loud, quiet, and then just mute. Anyways, something to point out on the Pac Man. It's got it to where you can turn it off down here and then also turn it off on the start and pause button, which is weird. I don't know why they do it that way. Otherwise, see right off the bat, this is an actual game ROM. Nintendo, arcade, whatever. It is an actual game ROM. It's not like your old school little LCD games or LED games where it's just a background with areas that light up for the characters. If that made any sense to where, well, I'll point it out on this. Another thing, in fact, I'm going to start it up for a second here. Got it level there. load up. As you can see, nice and sharp. Start tilting it down. It stays nice and sharp. No distortion in the background. Even when I turn it left, right, or whatever. No distortion. And I'll show you the Pac Man. Which, say, man, on looks, this is really cool looking. It's just as cool looking as the others. And on batteries, 3 AA, just like the others. So anyways, like I say, man, I can either turn it on with this button, or I can turn it on up here. As you can see, color screen. Right now, you're just seeing all the dots and then the power up. Pellets flashing in the corners there, kind of, sort of. Now, here's where the big difference is. See that? You can see every spot. Oh, and it turns off automatic if you're not playing it, which is a good thing. That's something they should change. In fact, turn this on and see if it will shut off. Q-bert. And I can't remember if those shut off on their own or not if you're not playing it. Anyways. Say, man, you can see every spot where a ghost would appear. That's not a ROM, man. That's like a regular old little handheld LCD LED game, which is really annoying. You have to look straight at it, level with the screen. As soon as I start tilting it, I can start seeing stuff appear in the background. Either way. Yep, same thing left or right, so you got to look straight at it. So, that's a real disappointment there. They could have done so much better. Otherwise, I say, man, on looks, it does have that going for it, and at least in my store, the price was cheaper. Okay, Q-bert is still running. So that's something else they added to it, is it turns off after like 5 seconds if you're not doing anything. Let's see. Let's see how long it takes. Okay. Stays on for about 20 seconds. So that's good, at least to save on your batteries. That's definitely good, because my Q-bert, it's still running. So that's something new that they added. So really, for the price, man, it's worth it. It's definitely better than the original one. It's just, if you're going to be playing it, man, that's pretty awkward to have to hold it level all the time. Now, being that that is considered number 7, man, I haven't seen anything else other than this at my store, and I think they've only had this for a few days. So, for anybody that lives in a bigger city where you got more than friggin' Walmart and Kmart, which for me soon will be only Walmart, as my Kmart is going out of business. They will be closing the store in October, I believe. So right now everything's on a clearance or whatever you want to call it. Which I went over there and they're pulling the same shit as Hastings, to where they're starting with 10% off, and then it's going to increase as the hoarders start coming in and buying up every damn thing possible until I guess they empty it. Otherwise, they never had these to begin with, just Walmart. But yeah, if any of you guys see number 5 or number 6, I'd love to know what they are, man. Do a video on it, put in a comment what they are. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with Space Invaders, which if they do, I'll probably pick it up just so I can have 4 of these things, man, because that'd be cool. But tell you the truth, I'd rather just have a couple of new ones, like Galaxian, Galaga, Zaxxon, something like that, man. Another cool game. So, that's my thoughts on this. Say is definitely check Walmart if you got one. Toys R Us and Target and stuff. Even Walmart, when I got online to look it up, I was not finding this. My Walmart is still showing the older version of it online. But Walmart's weird like that. And a lot of times the price will be different, as in higher. Sometimes you can get a better deal on stuff on Walmart if you go online. As long as it's not one of their third parties. I wouldn't trust going through a third party. But if you're buying it directly through Walmart, sometimes you can do better. But lately, it's been more expensive, and I don't know why. They get crazy on their site. But I checked Target, and they were saying Walgreens. As I went to their website to see if maybe they show anything, which right off the bat, their website, when it comes to showing off their products, it sucks. All they show is the original Pac Man and the original Space Invaders. They don't show anything past that. If they were showing the Q-bert and the Centipede, they'd probably get more people enticed to buy them that are checking out the actual website. But all the stores they listed, I just check stuff that I have in my local areas in Kingman, Bullhead, and Havasu, and don't know. Until I actually stop at the store, I don't know. So, being that I found this, I will definitely let you guys know if anything else turns up. My store seems to be getting them all the time. I think when they got the original Pac Man and Space Invaders, they just got a ton of them, man, because they had so many of the Space Invader games, they had them stacked on a shelf above the shelf that the kids can get at, so they just had tons of them. Must have gotten one hell of a shipment. And they still keep bringing in Q-bert and Centipede to my store, so they're still out there for anybody that's looking for them and hasn't spotted them at their store or whatever. Just keep checking. Alright. I'm starting to get freaking hot in here, so I call it quits on this vid. I say, man, once it starts getting more tolerable, I will do a pickups vid for you guys, as I have been finding some cool things, just not much. It's been real slim pickings here lately, especially on video game stuff. I think we've got a lot of people in my town that are just buying it up to resell. So when it comes to collecting, it's getting really hard to find anything good. As in, unless you're desperate for money, man, and you find old school stuff, hold on to it. I think the value is just going to keep going up, man. It's getting very popular everywhere. Have a good one, everybody.